Well, the passengers of Kolkata Metro train had to spend nearly 2 hours inside a tunnel this morning when a southbound non-AC metro rake developed snag after leaving Park Street station. Metro Railway spokesperson Arun Mahapatra said that the snag developed at 11:25 a.m. as the train entered the tunnel after leaving Park Street. He said that all the passengers were evacuated from both sides of the rake by ladders which went down to the tracks. But after close to 90 minutes, the passengers had been evacuated. And considering that it was inside a tunnel, it was a non-AC, in fact, it was inside a tunnel and it had been stranded there. Many of the passengers were feeling nauseated and many of them even collapsed, as for close to an hour and a half they had been waiting. Had the crowd been bigger, probably the situation would have been a lot worse. Well, in fact, the Kolkata Metro Rail today being marred with an incident of passengers being stranded for close to 2 hours. We understand it is a technical snag that caused the southbound non-AC metro that developed a snag. It stranded soon after leaving the Park Street station. But after a few hours, normal services were back. However, for 2 hours, services across the line were disrupted thanks to the technical snag that was developed. The railway authorities ran truncated services from Dum Dum to Central on one side and Mahanayak Uttam Kumar to Kavi Subhas station on the other. But by the time the passengers were pulled out of this train, which was completely enclosed, and the technical snag had caused it to strand, a nauseating experience of sorts had developed within the metro rail. But fortunately, no one has been grievously hurt or injured in the process. Well, these are the passengers after they were evacuated. Some of the passengers even fell unconscious and had to be carried out of the metro station, as we can see on our television screens. The metro PRO said that right after the incident occurred, the passengers were evacuated. He defended the metro, saying that nobody was reported sick. But in fact, we just showed you visuals of how a few of the passengers had fainted as they were stranded inside for close to an hour and a half. The problem with the train developed at around 11:25 a.m. It is said that the metro line is extremely old and it took very long for the officials to evacuate the passengers. This is one of the older lines of the Kolkata Metro, and hence once it got stranded, it was a Herculean task that the officials had to employ to rescue the passengers. However, none of them have been grievously hurt, although a few of them even fainted, is what we understand. Well, thousands of commuters were inconvenienced because of the southbound non-AC metro train being stranded there. It is said that the brake developed a snag soon after leaving Park Street station, and some passengers, including small children, reportedly fell unconscious and they were carried away to a hospital nearby. The passengers were stuck for about 40 to 90 minutes in the metro without electricity, and that is what proved to be a major hazard for the passengers there, as it is an enclosed bogie and the electricity had gotten cut off, which means that there was no air conditioned supply and there was no ventilation for these passengers as well. For 40 minutes they were stranded inside, and considering that there were quite a few people in the train, it became all the more difficult. Many of the children too fainted, is what we understand. This is one of the victims of this incident that we understand. Metro Railway CRPO RN Mahapatra said that the snag developed at around 11:25 a.m. However, the metro officials have gone on to refute any claims of passengers falling ill because of them being stranded. Well, many of these passengers, in fact, we can see coming out of the metro rail with sweaty shirts, soaked shirts almost, as for close to 40 minutes they were stranded inside the metro rail without any sort of a ventilation. The electricity was cut off. There were no lights. There was no ventilation as well. And we can see one of the victims who has even passed out because of the same.